Number 10. KARNI Temple. If you've ever wanted to visit an ancient temple and also have a taste for the weird, then add the KARNI Temple to your bucket list. This temple is in an Indian state, mostly known for its vast deserts and pretty landscape, and as such, attracts many tourists each year. The temple is considered to be a home for the reincarnation of a superior goddess named Durga, also known for her strength and fabled as a great warrior. Aside from the mystic folklore surrounding the temple, it is also known for housing over 20,000 rats. This is part of the attraction. These are considered holy and therefore not to be harmed under any circumstances. The rats come and go as they please and nibble on whatever the tourists feed them voluntarily, or just the food that's left out in plain sight. There are even special tunnels and feeding bowls set up in various places throughout the temple. At least the rats are known to be friendly since they're used to interacting with tourists of all kinds. Number 9. Izu Island, Japan. If you've ever wanted to see Japan in an unconventional way, the Izu Islands are just for you. Although there are more than 12 islands that form a chain, the islands are often called the Izu 7. The most popular of these 12 islands is called Oshima. All the islands have a strong history of volcanic activity, the most recent one being in the early 2000s. To counteract the possible danger from natural disasters, it is mandatory for visitors and residents to carry a gas tank and a mask with them at all times. This is both in case of an emergency and also to help filter out the pungent smell of sulfur that emanates from the volcanoes. Even with the mask, you're gonna smell it, and you're not going to like it, trust me. But if you can brave through all that, you will be rewarded with a beautiful sight of lush greenery that the island is well known for. Some of the other islands even have white sand beaches and more common tourist attractions like dolphin watching and fine dining. Number 8. Gnome Reserve. If miniature people staring up at you from your garden isn't creepy enough for you, there's a whole reserve of gnomes in Devon, England, waiting just for you. It was started in 1979 by a former art student who found comfort in gnomes, finding that they provided direction in her paintings. The reserve is spread over 4 acres of land and houses over 2,000 different gnomes of many artistic varieties. Alongside them are other pieces such as pixies, hats, and fishing rods. There are also many other natural attractions on the reserve, such as woodlands, a pond, and a wildflower garden with over 250 labeled species. Hats and fishing rods are provided for tourists free of charge so that they can pose for pictures with the gnomes and blend in with the environment. If gnomes don't creep you out, definitely consider paying the reserve a visit. If nothing else, you will have some very interesting pictures. Number 7. Craters of the Moon, National Monument and Preserve. If you think Idaho is only good for providing the world with potatoes, this odd tourist attraction may change your mind. This beloved American National Preserve can be found in central Idaho. It's said to look something out of a dystopian novel, because the lava that erupted over 10,000 years ago has hardened and created a crust which is equally beautiful and overwhelming to look at. There are also many tunnels made of this hardened lava which are open for exploration through self-guided hikes and organized tours. There's also a dormant volcano which erupts every 10 to 20,000 years. It most recently erupted 2,000 years ago, however. Geologists have put up red flags as to the effect that global warming might have on the volcano. The preserve has its name because of how the land has numerous ebbs in it due to the volcanic eruptions. So if you're ever in Idaho, bored out of your mind, looking for a weekend getaway, check out the Craters of the Moon for a fun hike or guided tour. Just make sure to take some water with you as there are limited natural water sources. Number 6. Market Theater Gumwall, United States. While this isn't technically a vacation spot in itself, it's just weird enough for us to recommend the whole city to you. If you're ever feeling sleepless in Seattle, go visit the Market Theater Gumwall. The wall was started in 1993 when improv comedians began sticking their gum to the wall as they waited to start the show. Since then, the wall has grown to be 8 feet high and has had many tourists from all over coming just to stick their gum and leave a mark on the rather gross legacy. In the beginning, officials tried to stop it from becoming a thing and were cleaning it constantly. However, they gave in as the people considered it to be a form of self-expression and embraced the wall. In late 2015, the wall was once again cleaned, as officials stated that the sugar from the chewing gum was actually rotting through the bricks. Despite the cleaning and new warnings, it didn't take long till people started sticking their gum on the wall again. With the first few pieces, they set a peace sign with the Eiffel Tower, in commemoration of the then recent Paris attack. If the gross factor of the wall doesn't bother you and you want to add your own chewing gum to the ever-growing collection, now is your chance. Number 5. Electric Ladyland. This museum is truly one of a kind. as who else would think of showcasing only fluorescent art? It's an amazing experience because people get to participate in the art before even entering the room. At the door, visitors are given special slippers which allow them to view everything at their own leisure, all the while being part of the art. Nick Padalino is the owner and the artist behind much of the artwork present, which is a fusion of sculpture work, naturally luminescent rocks, and many man-made glowing rocks. If that doesn't sound cool enough by itself, the entire artistic experience is aided by the soundtrack of the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix. Reviewers call it a mix of strange and beautiful, which sounds like it would make the ideal tourist destination. If afterwards you are still craving more, you can join some of the smaller hole-in-the-wall cafes and partake in lively discussions about the art with a fine selection of snobby art critics. Number 4. Island of Dolls, Mexico. The Island of Dolls is not too far from Mexico City, and attracts many tourists each year, mainly due to the creepy element of the tragedy that took place there. The island is filled with old, battered, and decaying dolls hanging from trees. The legend is that an ostracized alcoholic, Dan Julian Santana, found a girl drowned in the lake and her doll was floating nearby. He was so haunted by her death that to appease her spirit, he hung the doll from a tree. Feeling like that was still not enough, he started trading his vegetables for dolls and hung them up like the first as a way of commemorating her memory and honoring her spirit. There are many other urban legends surrounding the rest of the story of the island, and apparently a reputable psychic has said that Santana had seen the evil spirit drowning the little girl and wanted to protect the island by hanging the creepy looking dolls. If everything else about the place is creepy enough, in 2001 Santana somehow drowned in the exact same lake as the little girl. For whatever reason, they never took down the dolls, and some people even believe that they hold the girl's spirit. Number 3. ALNWICK Poison Garden. Have you ever been tempted to go inside an abandoned building with big fancy gates? Well, this travel location might just cure you of that thrill-seeking urge. The castle is found in the obscure English countryside of Northumberland. It is huge and has many wings, one of which is home to the current Duke and his wife. However, one part of the estate is a garden which hosts many different and rare species of plants. More specifically, every plant in the garden is extremely poisonous. Many years ago, a duchess who was interested in sharing the harmful effects of plants instead of the healing ones started the project, and since then its popularity has only grown. Today, the garden attracts a little over 800,000 visitors each year. Don't worry about accidentally walking into the place, as one of the biggest red flags is that the gate itself has a huge sign on it warning visitors of the risk that they take by visiting the garden, and caution them against even smelling or inhaling the plant life. Among its many residents, the garden notably hosts the deadly nightshade and hemlock, and they even have special permission to grow cannabis and other similar substances in a controlled environment. If the danger itself isn't reason enough to visit this odd destination, the castle grounds have been used for the production of many movies, including the Harry Potter series. Number 2. JULES Undersea Lodge. Is sleeping under the stars too mainstream for you? How about sleeping under the ocean with fish swimming above your head? JULES Underwater Lodge in Key Largo, Florida is the only American hotel that is underwater. The name isn't a marketing gimmick either, as to just reach for the hotel, you have to scuba dive 21 feet beneath the sea after driving through a tropical mangrove. The hotel opened in 1986 and they charge a fee of $675 for one person to stay overnight, but they offer discounted rates for groups. There's also a deal for two, which includes their infamous pizza delivery dinner, and sounds like a great idea for an anniversary surprise. Just remember, you have to be a certified diver before you can even visit the Undersea Lodge. But if you aren't, the facility offers training sessions for $95. And plus, if you can't fall asleep, you can just count the fish swimming above. It's a nice variation to counting sheep. Number 1. Free Spirit Spheres. Canada was named among the top travel destinations for 2017, and if you're looking for a place to start exploring the Great White North, head over to British Columbia for a treehouse adventure. The owner handcrafted each one of the spheres, first by carving one with wood, but he later replicated the last one using fiberglass. The spheres hang from the trees and are connected to each other by the ground and rope bridges. There are also a number of tourist spots close for which the owners provide guests with an extensive list, as well as restaurant recommendations that are within walking distance. The owner came up with the idea of the spheres when he wanted to be one with the nature around him, but not hurt it, believing that nature provides an opportunity for mindful moments. He then built these spheres as a way to prolong this serene feeling. The cost per night for sleeping in the spheres vary based on the sphere chosen, but each roughly fall between $200 and $350 per night.